All right, welcome to 3-4, the least common multiple, or LCM is what we call that. So our last lesson was adding and subtracting fractions with like denominators. And our next one is going to be doing the same thing with unlike denominators. So we need to know about common multiples in order for that to happen. Okay, so our objective today, we have to find the least common multiple between two or more numbers and list the multiples of two numbers. That's what we will be able to do. So we only have one vocabulary word, and that's multiple. So I'm going to find M, and that is on page 11. And you have to actually add it in. So down at the bottom, there is a blank space. You have to actually write multiples. Okay, so our academic definition is the products of a number times different integers. So here I have 4. So when I did 4 times 1, I get 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12, and I'm using the dot for the times. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. So those are the first 5 multiples. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So a personal connection would be when you buy eggs, you have to buy them in cartons. So you always have to get them in multiples of 12. You have to get 12, 24, 36, or 48, because you have to buy them in the cartons. Okay, and that's it for the vocabulary. Isn't that nice? Okay, so we're going to build background. The first thing we're going to do is write the 10 multiples of the following numbers. So for 2, we're going to take 2 times 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 8 is 18. Nope, 16. And then 2 times 9 is 18. Then 2 times 10 is 20. Okay, same thing with 4. 4 times 1 is 4. It should always start with the same number. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 9 is 36. And 4 times 10 is 40. So in listing multiples, if you don't know your times tables, you can use a multiplication chart. Or you can look and you're just adding 4 every time. Add 4, add 4, add 4, add 4, add 4. Okay, so for 7, 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 12, or 14. I don't know where 12 came from. 7 times 3 is 21. So if you don't know what 7 times 4 is, you can take 21 and add 7, and that would be 28. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 5 is 56. 7 times 9 is 63. And 7 times 10 is 70. Now 11s are pretty easy because it's just going to be the doubles of everything. So 11 times 1 is 11. 11 times 2 is 22. 11 times 3 is 33. 11 times 4 is 44. 11 times 5 is 55. 11 times 6 is 66. 11 times 7 is 77. 11 times 8 is 88. 11 times 9 is 99. Now here's the one that's tricky. 11 times 10 is 110. All right, so here we go with example 1. We're going to find the least common multiples of 6 and 9. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to list the first 5 multiples of each. See if there's anything in common. If there isn't, we need to keep listing those numbers. So I'm going to start with 6, and I'm going to start by listing the first 5. So 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. And 6 times 5 is 30. I'm going to pause there. I could keep going, but if there's something in common, I don't want to have to write down more. Okay, and then 9. For 9, 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4 is 36. And 9 times 5 is 45. So do they have anything in common? And they do. They have an 18 in common. Okay, so my least common multiple is 18. Okay, number 2, we're going to find the LCM of 16 and 18. Okay, so first we're going to list the first 5 multiples of each, see if there's anything in common. I don't know why I did 16 and 18, that's goofy. So 16 times 1 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32, 16 times 3 would be 48, 16 times 4 would be 64, 16 times 5 would be 80. I think that's right with the 64. I'm not actually sure, so I'm going to just double check. Yep, that's right. So for 18, we have 18, because 18 times 1 is 18. 18 times 2 is 36. 18 times 3 would be 54. 18 times 4 would be 72. 18 times 5 would be 90. Okay, so do they have anything in common? Not yet, so we have to keep listing numbers. So I'm just going to go one by one. So 16 times 6 is 96. 16 times 7 is 112. 16 times 8 is 128. 16 times 9 is 144. And then 16 times 10 is 160. So now with 18 here. 18 times 6, it should be 108. 18 times 7 is 126. 18 times 8 is 144. Oh, there we go, 144. So my least common multiple is 144. I don't know why I did that problem. That one's kind of goofy. Okay, number 3, we're going to find the least common multiple of 9, 18, and 12. So we're going to list the first 5 multiples of each. Okay, so I'm going to do 9, 18, and 12. Alright, so for 9, we know 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4 is 36. And 9 times 5 is 45. Okay, 18 we already listed here, so I'm just going to copy down the first 5. So I have 18, 36, 54, 72, and 90. And then for 12. 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 is 36. 12 times 4 is 48. And 12 times 5 is 60. So I want to see, what do they all have in common? So do they all have a 9? Nope. Do they all have an 18? These two do, but we want it between all 3. They don't all have 27, but they do all have a 36. So my least common multiple is 36. Okay, so summary, multiples are numbers that can be found by multiplying the number by another integer. To find the least common multiple, also called LCM, first list the first 5 multiples of each number and find the first one they have in common. Okay, if the first 5 don't work, you're going to keep going. All right, and that is it.